rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibits an auctioneer from accepting any bids or offers on a property after it has been knocked down to a successful bidder. The vendors do have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer, I will simply indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids and it prohibits major destructions by bidders. Now, it does prohibit bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it certainly provides fines for this conduct. The rules do permit vendor bids. The words I will use during an auction to indicate I will be making a bid on behalf of the owner will be vendor bid, and only I, as your auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. Now, made available for your perusal, the auction documentation, they indicate that the property we are selling today is identified on Certificate of Title Volume 8272 Folio 400. Here being lot number 1 on currently an unregistered plan of subdivision of 737416H, together with all improvements and fixtures to us more commonly known as 1 of 42 Lemans Crescent, Noble Park. Now, the chattels involved with today's sale are all fixed floor coverings, window furnishings and electric light fittings of a permanent nature. You will sign today a cash and unconditional contract within which there are no cooling off periods. For the successful bidder amongst you, your obligations are simply twofold. 1, it is to autograph the paperwork acknowledging the terms, the conditions and the price of the auction. Secondly, it is to pay a deposit equivalent to a humble 10% of the final sale value, with the balance due at settlement in either 60 days or of course within 14 days of the property being subdivided and registered at the title office, whichever is later. Now, by bidding here today, you are telling me that you have read and approved all relevant documentation. It is at this time I will kindly ask for any questions, or else I'll simply take your silence as an assumption that you do accept and understand. Good, perfect. Well, folks, it is not often we get to find, I guess, a property like ours. You can say a unit with the size of a home, and certainly a land allotment much bigger than the average. A land allotment much bigger than average, normally you'll find units in particular, you have maybe 150 to 200 square meters tops. Whereas here we have closer towards 400 square meters, basically double the size. Now, that not only gives you space, room to move, grow, but certainly gives, I guess, you the confidence of capital growth, because as we know, land is what increases and appreciates over time. And unlike many other properties I mentioned about size already, internally, as you can see, we have a generous size, I guess, proportion offering to whether it be the owner-occupier or the investor out there looking at renting the property out. You come inside, you realize there's not a single thing for you to do. The kitchen, bathroom, floorboards, painting, everything has been done. Light fittings, curtains, blinds, heating is brand new. Nothing has actually, I guess, been used in here before. So you can basically essentially say many appliances are new. As new for you to experience, for you to enjoy, for you to thrive in your lifestyle. If you talk about our location, I guess we are in this quiet Lemans Crescent location where on one access way you reach Chandler Road, the other Heatherton Road, which means you've got great easy accessibility to train station, Noble Park shops, easy access to Springvale, to Clayton, to Parkmore. It is all available to you. We've got a host of schools around here, so if you were to have young ones, certainly their educational needs are looked after as well. I really do believe we do have the perfect algorithm, the complete package here of location, size, and low maintenance. The only thing I believe we are lacking though is a new owner, and that's what we want to find out here today, folks. Who will that privilege go to? So it is in your hands now, folks. I am calling for an opening bid, turning it over to you. Where could I see us start here for this gorgeous residence? Where do we say go? I don't mind where we begin today, folks. As you can see, just a nice cozy crowd amongst us. Look, I don't mind where we start, as long as we start somewhere, as long as we initiate proceedings somewhere. Where do we say go? Anywhere at all, I don't mind. Look, it is natural, and I do understand that that first bid of an auction just always seems that little bit more daunting. However, once it is out of the way, once someone does kick things off, we find everyone relaxes and everyone gets used to the swing of things. Can I see a start roll? Anyway, maybe closer towards that $400,000 mark, surely it commands those sort of levels. Tell you what, folks, it seems like maybe some of you just want to be led by example. What I'll do is this. I'm going to kickstart things off today with a vendor bid at $400,000 just to initiate proceedings, and from here I'm going to look for and search for $10,000 on the advance now. Could I say $410,000 anywhere? At $400,000 here for a great value proposition. Just remember, fully renovated. This is 3 bedrooms. Normally we see 2 bedrooms homes going for these sort of values. So at $400,000 now, seeking 10s on the advance, could I say 410? At $400,000, that is the leading bid at this point. It is a platform to work with though. Could I see 10s anywhere? Surely. Don't let inhibitions hold you back at these sort of levels. I would have thought at least 410 from here. First call at $400,000. Could I say 410 now for the second time of asking? At $400,000, calling for an easy 10 for the third and final time. Well, normally I wouldn't mention this so early in our, procedure. However, I must emphasize to you that the highest bidder of an auction will always be in the best position to purchase, folks. So, as you can see, not many amongst you here today. However, if you do have an intention to purchase, if you do have an interest in a property, only 1 or 2 things could happen. If you are the highest bidder and it was announced on the market, of course, you buy the property. That's the most ideal position to be in. But secondly, even if that was not to occur, if you were the highest bidder and the property was to pass in, you will secure exclusivity. You will have the highest priority in negotiating with our owners and finding out what they're looking for. It is a very, very powerful position to be in, and we find when we pass the property into the highest bidder that over 80% of the time that buyer actually ends up buying the property. It is a very, very good position to put yourselves in, folks. So what do you say? Could I say 410 anywhere? At $400,000 lead now, searching for 10s on the go. Could I say 410? First time. At $400,000, seeking 10s on the advance now for the second call. At $400,000, the winning bid at 400 for the third and final time. Well, folks, what I'm going to do is this. Before I execute my next maneuver, I'm just going to quickly update my owner on the current position, maybe giving you time just to reassess and to rethink your own positions. I'll be back with you shortly, and hopefully we can see just a little bit more participation on your behalf and get one of you across the line, as they say. Be back shortly. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience and waiting on, the quite productive conversation I just had with our owner. What I will say is they certainly are highly motivated. They have a very strong intention to, to sell the property, and they do really want to, find the next owner. However, at this stage, as you can see, no one's made that genuine offer yet. What they've said is this, that certainly all offers will be seriously considered. So if you were to have, a serious interest in the property, I must say to you, just make your interest known, and look, we will hope and endeavour to get one of you to be the next buyer, of course, be the new proprietor of this lovely property. When I left before, it was on a vendor bid at $400,000. I'm hoping that recess I provided you gave you a chance just to rethink your own positions. Anyone at all, could I say a further advance, maybe make it 410? At $400,000, searching for 10s on the advance now. I think it's only instinctive bidding. Look, I mentioned about the location, not only great schooling, got public transport, of course, at the Yarramid Station, Noble Park Station, not far away. Shopping at Noble Park, Springbok for all your grocery and retail needs as well. Look, we've got everything here, folks. So at $400,000, could I say 410 anywhere in the crowd? At $400,000 now, searching for 10s on the go. Once, twice, third and final time. Well, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to execute the final vendor bid that I'll be placing today at $410,000. At that level, I was requesting for, and only one or two things could happen from here. Number one, it will either pass in at that level, or number two, if you've been playing your cards pretty close to the chest at this point, if you're sneaking with the bid, what I will guarantee you is that I won't make a vendor bid above your level. We're going to be happy just to negotiate with you. You don't have to worry about any further vendor bids from this point onwards. So a vendor bid now at $410,000. If you are waiting, I guess, until the very end before you make your move, now's your time and chance. At $410,000 for this fully renovated residence, sitting on almost 400 square meters of land, folks. As you can see, a small, desirable location and allotment here. Could I say 420 anywhere? At $410,000 in this great value buying now, searching for 10s on the go. Make it 420 first time. At $410,000, surely you wouldn't let it slip at these levels now. For the second call, $410,000. Are we done, solid and finished at $410,000? Exclusivity is up on offer for the third and final call at $410,000. Are we finished, done for today? I'll tell you what, folks, maybe today may not be the day for one of you. However, we'll give you an opportunity, I guess, post-auction here today, just to have a quick private chat with any of our consultants. Shane, Alex, and myself, we're here to help you out. We will officially and successfully pass the property in today. Thank you to everyone for your attendance. Like I said, if you are interested, please do speak with us. But also, if you can give a round of applause for everyone's participation, of course, attendance here today, that would be fantastic.